Welcome to Lo-Fi Podcast to do your homework to.
We're going to talk about what happens when we die.
Touch my fucking pencil.
Oh my god. Comment below what you think happens when we die.
Because we're going to talk about what happens when we die, because I've been there.
Because this is Lo-Fi Podcast.
You've been to
do your
jail,
homework
not death.
My bad, guys.
I'm a nuts.
Anyone want to start us off?
This guy did. He wanted to.
Start off. What do you...
My theory...
Abraham.
Abraham. It's like when we die, my theory is it's like just nothing. Just non-existence.
I'm just kidding.
It's like non-existence. No thoughts, no feelings, no conscience, just non-existence.
How'd you know that then?
It's his theory. He doesn't know.
Yeah, but he would never know.
Every
if
theory
it
has to
actually
have a
is true.
scientific, valid provence.
This is just my
Well,
theory.
I mean,
So when people die,
I don't think that we're
They
they
just...
die.
but like,
That's it, bud. Lights out.
but like when my fucking like family member dies and lays flat,
Then they're dead. They're
and their
gone.
heart stops, they instantly go to nothing.
Yeah, they're gone.
But then how do they come back?
They didn't want to be there.
Did they decide? They decide. I don't want to not exist.
You're wrong!
They found the chain light to like.
They're in
light their way
they're
back
in
to the
nothingness,
doorway.
and they're like, it's a little
One
dark.
person fucking talk at one person talk at
I'm not
one
gonna
time.
fucking tell you the rules of
We're all the same person.
But alright, they're there. Alright, they clock out.
They kick the bucket.
And it's dark and nothingness, and they're like, what's a little scary? So then they go back. I'm gonna live as long as I can to avoid this darkness.
No consciousness, but it's scary. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I don't See, that's another debate. Do you have consciousness or not?
According to this guy, no.
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 Or if you don't have consciousness, then how would you know?
I
you
think
have
there's like a
nothingness?
mid-level, like, because if they come back, then they didn't.
How do they
die.
even know they came back?
One person talk at one time. Go ahead.
Like if they came back, then they didn't like die. Then like there's like
so
a
wrong.
mid-level.
Well,
Shut the fuck up. He's talking.
alright, so when you flatline and your heart stops, you're dead.
But people come back sometimes. I have a friend who's died 3 times legally,
So he doesn't exist anymore from the first time.
He won the gulag.
but he came.
See, that's like,
But if his consciousness is gone, how does he even know he's back?
No, that's the thing. But like he like legally died, like on paper died.
Oh,
we need to have him in here.
listen here. You can't wake up dead.
If you go to bed dead,
Go to
you
bed.
can't go to bed dead. You go to bed and you're alive, and you can't wake up if
But
you're
you
dead.
can't wake up dead because then you never wake up. You're already
Hey.
dead, so you went
Oh!
to dead.
Shit.
Hey, stop. Go ahead.
Are rats mice? Sorry.
Yeah, because Pikachu was a mouse
And then he
and
woke up
Raichu
dead.
was a fucking rat. So mice evolved into rats, dude.
So you found out that people die.
What did he experience when he died 3 times?
Nothing.
Nothing? Like, it was just, like, he blinked,
Yeah, like he blinked
and he's back.
and he's back.
See, that's what coma patients do. Like, that's what they say would happen.
Yeah.
They say they can hear people talking to them, but the time just feels like a minute.
Yeah, no, he said like nothing happened. Like he thought that he just like blinked and
He's
like
back here.
the 2 of them weren't that long. Like one was only like he was like pronounced dead for like 2 minutes, pronounced dead for like 3 minutes, but the third one he was pronounced dead for like 8 minutes. And then all of a sudden he was just like boop, and just like
He just came back.
yeah. But he said like to him like it wasn't nothing. Like he just sort of blinked and
So it's like shields from Halo recharged.
yeah. And like my theory, I already had my theory before that. So when I asked him about
Can you
this,
also-
and he was like, "It was nothing," that like only enhanced my theory. I was like, "I guarantee it's just nothing. You just blink out one day. You just blink out, and you don't open them back up."
Loading a new chunk.
So,
Use the defibrillator in Left 4 Dead 2.
Now, whenever I had a
eats a
seizure,
submarine sandwich.
whenever I had a seizure, it was like that.
You had a seizure?
Yeah.
When the fuck did you have a seizure?
He almost fell on me when it happened.
What was this?
Zach-
I used to have seizures.
Zach wasn't that old, and like I went outside and was working on the driveway, and it was super fucking hot, and I didn't eat or drink anything. I came back inside.
Gotta get them electrolytes, dog.
Yeah, I came back
Gatorade.
inside.
Protein.
Yeah, that's it. So basically, what they said happened was my blood sugar was low, so my body like laid me out flat. So like I was sitting there, and my vision started turning gray, not like black. It started turning like no color, and then it started getting harder to focus. And the next thing I know, I hear like a thump, which is my own body hitting the ground, and my mom like yelling my name. And then whenever I like come back,
Wait,
I looked at her and I was like, "Why are you yelling?"
All right, Josh, we're talking about when
And
you
she-
die, not when you have a seizure.
And I'm
were
saying
you
it's like the
seasoned?
same type of thing.
Were you seasoned or did you pass out?
No, it was a seizure. She's like, I actually like shaked and everything. You can ask him.
He was flopping.
He
Looking
used to
A
have
fucking
seizures.
fish out of water.
Yeah. I was like a Gary's Mod ragdoll, but in first person.
Didn't like one of the first one... Wasn't like the first one you had with like your dad? You didn't know what the hell was going on.
I think so. It was back when my parents were still together.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And the first thing this motherfucker says to me, Josh, you turned pretty colors. Because like apparently turned purple.
So what do you think happens when we die? Because sometimes when we have seizures, we die.
Let me see.
Apparently we die.
Because
We go into a coma.
Wait, who else has
Purple
theories about when they die? We've sort of gone over mine. Who else has like their theory?
I think I myself can think some way like reincarnation can be kind of true, or like at least different like parallel universes of us existing, and like maybe when we die we just go to that other
You're wrong.
existence. Of
Which one
ourselves.
is it? You reincarnate? You reincarnate in a different universe?
Not a universe,
Possibly.
a dimension.
Dimension, yeah.
Same universe,
Like,
but
like the
different.
second dimension.
Oh yeah, or
Like a paper, and you poke the pencil.
Like you're
Yeah.
me, and I'm you. But
because
you're really
we're
me.
not-
and that could explain why
How would
we
you
have,
know?
That could explain why we have deja
'Cause I'm
vu
me.
about things.
No one knows. That's what we're talking about.
Dude, I'm me. So stop arguing with me, you fuck.
I was you in a past life, so I already know what you're going through.
It's not a past life if we're living in the same one,
No,
motherfucker.
we're starting over.
He was
You
in
or
a
me.
different dimension, and he saw you.
We're not in a different dimension. We're in the same one talking to each other.
Not-
But
not
not
then.
last time, you idiot. Don't you remember the time knife?
You two must have been dung beetles in a past life because you're full of shit.
Get out of the podcast.
Fuck out
I,
of here,
I
Ted.
can't.
So what happens when we
Fuck.
die?
Well, if you want to die, just listen to Tyler's puns and you'll be bored to death.
Okay.
Just kidding.
So you're talking about like reincarnation.
Yeah, and that could explain like why
We're
we
gonna
have
have to cut
deja
so much
vu
of this out.
about like when we do something that we've never done before, and we're like, yo, what the fuck?
I get deja
That's an
vu a
astute-
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I have like crazy fucking deja vu all the
But
time.
mine come from dreams. Like I dream about stuff and then I do it later on in life, and like I forget about the dream. But when it happens, you remember the dream instantly. Like, oh wait, I dreamt about this. Like this is the exact moment. And usually it's like a 15-second moment. Like we're like, let's say I pick up this drink and then Tyler picks up the pencil and then
You got
say
some boring
something.
ass dreams.
And,
So do you
and,
think-
And then maybe that's why we come out of the womb crying, because we're crying because we still remember our past life.
Yeah, it's
and
not a
we're
traumatic
dying.
experience or anything.
Like,
Well, it is a traumatic
Like,
experience. 'cause
imagine
we- 'cause
coming
we're
out of
dying.
this,
Yeah.
and it like opens a little bit, and you get a little bit of light. You
Yeah,
gotta
that-
push
Yeah,
through
when
that.
you die, that light, when you
We're like-
die, that light at the end of the tunnel when you die is just the light.
See, the thing is, a lot of
You are pissing me off.
a lot of you won't believe me, but I remember when I was born,
What?
there was a bright light. All of a sudden, a man I don't know, and a cord. I bite through it.
You bit through your own cord.
Hell yeah, dude.
It was strangling him.
It's from The Office.
God damn, we can't fucking be serious for like one goddamn fucking second.
Alright, but seriously, the Japanese theorize, well, not all of them, but there's a lot of like, in Japanese culture that, like, if you don't eat or drink for like a month, you die.
What do you think happens when we die? On a serious note.
I honestly, I don't think about what happens when we die so much. What I think about a lot is like actually dying. Like it's hard. It's impossible for me to fathom. Like we're here 1 minute, and then the next we just cease to exist. Like, and then
Some scary stuff.
and then like 100 years from that, like you're gonna be no one's gonna remember you.
Yeah.
And then, like, no one's going to have any conscious thoughts about you. But, like, we were a part of this universe. But we basically don't exist anymore.
Be like, who is that? Oh, that's your great-great-grandfather.
Yeah, and that's...
And then that's the extent
Yeah.
of, like, you never hear anything, they never hear anything about you. Just, that's your great-great-grandfather.
Yeah, and then 10 years past that, there's just nothing. Like,
But,
you're just done.
Unless you're like
You're just a name
Bach
on a
and
family
Beethoven.
tree.
Bach, Beethoven.
I mean, people like them they're still obviously remembered right now, so...
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be remembered by anybody.
And then
So
like...
you gotta make sounds in order for people to remember you.
And then what else gets me is that to all of us, our universe starts like when we're born, but there was this intricate world with like billions of people before us, and like that we're living like in this moment right now is like nothing crazy special, but like someone 100 years from now would like probably love to travel back in time to this point in time to like relive it.
Yeah. Just like we want to travel back in time to like the 60s
Yeah.
and 70s.
And like it's just weird to think about how like this crazy world like
Every single person
Was
has a
go-
different timeline.
yeah, and it was like going on and on before us, and it just to us it just didn't start until we were born. It just messes with my brain. But to go with like what happens when we die, like I mean for the longest time, like I believed in like what the Bible said about going to judgment, like our souls go to judgment, and like we're just decided if we go into heaven or hell then. But I mean I do think about other theories, like I've thought about reincarnation and I've thought about like nothingness, but I can't wrap my head around nothingness. Like it just I don't know if I can't or that I don't want to. Like I don't want that to be it.
Yeah.
Like we live this life and then we're like shackled into this box with nothing in it but darkness.
Well, you won't be experiencing that because there will be nothingness.
Yeah. Like, and that's another thing is like
Yeah, it won't bother you. It won't bother you.
Like-
You're just not there.
just there's a part of me that refuses to believe that there's nothing after this life. Like that's just me though.
There is stuff after this life, just not for you.
Yeah. You're telling me I've been saving all my Chuck E. Cheese tokens for nothing?
Dude, I still have some.
What's your theory?
No, he's next.
But me and you are the same.
I mean, I can talk about mine. It deals with
What if-
reincarnation.
You ever feel like some days are faster than others?
No.
Like some days seem to drag and some days seem to go really quick and stuff.
Yeah.
So, what if?
We're just Sims. That's
No,
not-
like,
Let the man talk!
Fuck out of here.
Damn it! Jesus!
what if like
Dude!
we all? One more time.
I love you.
What if like we all actually die at the same time?
You're fucking
Like
retarded.
you only know the consciousness of yourself, and some days are faster than others, some days are slower than others. But what if even people in the past and people in the future, we all die at the same time?
What?
That's honestly the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Because I mean,
Hey, you have a grandma, right?
you hear about
Like,
time being like it folds upon itself. So what if like we're all everything is happening all at the same time?
but what about people that died like already?
in your
Like time's not an actual
in
thing.
your head, they've died already.
But I mean, in other people's heads, like if
But
like,
they're
you
dead.
had grandma that died, it's not just your timeline she
Kinda
died.
go-
Like the
kinda-
rest of
kinda
your
go
family
back.
members, they're all gonna be like, yeah, grandma died.
But if time,
Dude, no, she's not in my timeline.
Yeah,
She's
my
right
timeline,
here, dude.
she's fine. I'm
So
talking over here.
it's like the thing like I'm you and you're me. There's shit.
no, you have
Or like
your
there's
own.
no time is not an actual thing.
You have your own moments here, and we are experiencing our own stuff. But what if everybody's experiencing everything up to the end, and they all die at the same time?
I
Even the
can't.
people in the past.
I can't wrap my head around that. I just can't.
No.
But I mean, it would kind of even go with yours.
Going
Because
to heaven.
in your head, like you're saying, you can't fathom like it started before you or it continues after you.
Yeah, but they're
What if
dead.
it doesn't?
But
What if
They're-
everything ends at the same time?
we
Everything's a
don't die at the same
simulation.
time.
Like everything right now.
See,
is a
right now,
simulation.
if I were to grab my gun and shoot all of you, it wouldn't be at the same time. It would be like 4 seconds, then like 6 seconds after Tyler, then like 10 seconds after.
I'll save some
But to
time and shoot
you-
myself.
But you're sitting there watching Tyler's lifeless corpse.
Yeah, it's not at the same time.
But your time ends at the same time.
So like, time has different
And then,
parameters.
So-
we'll-
because
and then he'll be alive
then you
still,
can
but
even
we'll all be dead and he'll
then,
be alive.
and then you can even play into what he said. So you know how coma patients it blinks in a second.
yeah.
What if we
I get what
all end at the same time?
It's something that you would not understand because like it's kind of like time is not an actual thing.
But they're dead.
Well, in their timeline they are.
Well, yeah, because
Well,
they're
yours-
dead.
Yours it isn't.
But in other people's timeline, you're not even born.
Yeah.
No shit, because I have ceased to exist, and the people before me have died.
It's cease and assist.
And when I die, I'm going to die, and then people are going to die after me.
But what I'm saying is,
How do you know if there is going to be people after you or people even before
I
you?
guarantee you that
Because in
a
your
child
timeline,
has been born by the time this podcast has started.
your timeline,
If I were to blow my brains out right now, people are going to be born.
this has to deal with different.
this
Dimensions.
has to deal with you in different times folding upon itself.
JFK's alive.
So in
In a different place right now, JFK is alive.
so in the multiverse theory,
So we're talking about parallel universes that have different timelines.
That all end at the same time, which is your end. Everybody's end is the end of everything.
Zach, what you got, dog?
Okay, so the thing I
He's in
got.
Nirvana.
Oh my god. All right, Zach, what you got, dog?
Zach, tell us what you thought.
Okay, so the thing I'm putting on the table here for y'all to listen to.
Is your vape? I'm sorry.
Let the man speak. Goddamn.
Zach. So Zach, what do you think, dude? What do you think happens whenever you die?
Just tell us. Dude.
Shut the fuck up.
When you're ready.
What's a fucking cry?
When you're ready. Let me console you.
Dude, come on, man. We're waiting. There's a cat on the fridge.
There's a time on the.
Okay.
So Zach, what do you think happens whenever you die?
Buffy, what the hell happens when we die?
No! Stop!
I keep lifting her up, but her paws don't come off the ground.
She's also 300 pounds.
She's gonna bite you. Okay, the thing I'm putting on the table for y'all to ponder. I'm crying right now.
I want to hear what you want to
It's
say.
pretty fucking interesting.
I want to hear what you want to say.
And I honestly kind of believe it.
Alright.
Okay.
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 Kind of deals with reincarnation.
Alright.
And there is a like heaven or nirvana at the end of it, but it's not easy to like obtain. You know? We are in our own hell right now. That's why there is so much suffering all around us, and you can find happiness. That's a possible thing.
I'm pretty fucking happy.
Fuck you. Anyways, we're constantly like in our own hell, pretty much our own personal hell. But there's people around us that aren't. They're living their own like path, you know.
Silent Hill.
Hollows.
It is kind of like Silent Hill, like the religion based in the Silent Hill game. And at first there was no time, and like God gave us time.
So when he gives us time, are we out of hell or are we still?
No,
living?
we're
No, we're still
in
in
hell.
hell, but he's giving us
But it's
time.
the
Time
offering.
to figure it out and get the fuck
Because before there was time, you could not die. You're constantly in suffering. Like you're in hell. You're constantly suffering. There's no end to it.
So like Dante Allegory's ninth circle of hell.
Yes.
Like, we're in hell, but he gave us time to figure out if we can figure out how to get out of hell and get to, like,
Your nirvana.
your nirvana. Or
Which
your,
is nothingness. It's
Yeah.
relief from everything.
relief from all this suffering.
Yeah.
Well, it sounded like you were saying that, like, so say, like, I commit suicide right now. I actually didn't figure it out.
So you're going back through the
You're
cycle.
going back through the.
You're going back through the cycle.
Yeah.
So how many cycles are there?
Just
Until
unlimited
you break it.
until you figure it out.
Until you figure it out. And
That's
You
why
just
there's
keep getting
Your time is
reincarnated.
unlimited.
Are there different circles for different transgressions?
it's the same loop. It's the same loop.
No matter what
same,
you do.
Same timeline.
Because your issues are your issues to figure out.
Yeah.
No, I meant other people. Like say Josh kills somebody. Is his like?
I can still figure it out.
Is his loop more difficult than someone that like just robbed a bank or something? You don't know.
And does
I don't know what you're talking about right now. I just
So,
like
like-
You said we have to go through loops to get out.
Yeah,
So, like-
you have to figure out the thing, the demon or whatever it is.
you
I
have to
get,
wait.
I
You
get, I
have
get
to
what
wait.
I get.
I
What you're
have to
saying.
defeat the demon that
He's
makes me kill people.
asking. He's asking if we have different levels of difficulty for the amount of sin we've done in our loop. So like we have a harder time to get out of the loop because of the amount of sin we have had.
So you're
Quote, unquote, sin.
so what you're saying is, the more you sin, the more you want to kill yourself.
No, like the more you
Because the
sin,
more you
harder
s-
your loop's gonna be.
Well,
To get out of.
Yeah, to get out of. Because so eventually it's either you get out of it or you commit suicide.
But then
Then
you
you start over.
Then you start another
And you start
loop.
it. That's what I'm
You know.
saying. But
No, that's what he's saying.
But he's saying, like, if you're in your loop and you continue to sin and say you're sinning harder this time, it's going to be harder to get out of it.
Yeah, you're basically digging yourself.
'Cause
in.
then-
sin
the next
equals, so then sin equals that makes you want to commit suicide.
Why does it equal suicide?
Because you don't get out of it then. You got to restart.
Can you die while you're in your loop? Trying to get out. Well, I mean, you don't have to kill
Yeah,
yourself.
no. When you die,
It doesn't have to be.
depending on how you did, like either your loop broke or you're gonna start that loop again.
And not everybody's suicidal too.
Yeah, just me.
I mean, I don't really. I mean, I think everybody's a little bit suicidal. I don't think I've
And, like,
somebody.
Well, I mean, there's
If
a
you-
difference between being suicidal and having suicidal thoughts every now and then. Like, suicidal is you have those suicidal thoughts often. Having suicidal thoughts is you have suicidal thoughts.
Which is a term for that.
Most days,
Like
I just
like when
wanna
you're
taste-
driving.
I just want to taste cold hard steel.
Yeah, in my asshole.
Like when you're driving down the
How do you
highway
taste it in your ass?
and you have this sudden like thought.
If I had
to,
one
like,
wish, I wish
What if I
for you
jumped out of
full
the car
bozos
right
to
now?
have taste buds in your
You
asshole.
have that power to do that.
You have the power, but you don't
Speaking
do it.
of
And that's
power.
called the call of the void.
You keep doing these loops and you just keep getting reincarnated until you figure it out. Until you break that loop, you're not going to reach your nirvana.
So
You'll
you-
die, or you'll kill yourself, or something will happen to you,
And then you start over.
and you just start that loop over. And you
Like
just
Groundhog Day.
you go through loop after loop after loop
Maybe
until
think-
you finally figure it out. So you beat your demons, so you overpower all
Which
of
that
that
could also
and reach
explain-
your nirvana.
Now,
But
when
That could also explain deja vu, because then you
That's
could
what I
be-
was getting to, but nobody's letting me fucking talk about my own thing.
I'm letting you talk.
well, I wanted to ask questions, dog.
yeah,
This is
we have
interesting.
to ask questions about your.
In your loop, do you have when you die or kill yourself or whatever? If you fail at trying to get back, do you have the memories of trying to complete it?
That's where the deja vu, like people,
Okay.
people always constantly like have deja vu. Not everybody, but some people feel it. They can. I've been here before, and like, to like be like, that's your reincarnated. That was your past cycle. You have fragments of your last cycle.
Yeah, it's not like you remember everything that
could be like-
happened, but like every now and then you'll a little fragment will be there. Like, oh hey, this seems familiar, but it's not like you remember the entire past loop. It's just like every now and then you'll come across a point where like it's a fragment, like deja vu.
So you're in the same timeline every single time.
But what if that timeline
From when
hasn't
you were
started?
born.
Yeah, from when you were born.
Because people are getting born.
So even though you may succeed, you're gonna be here.
Shut up!
Every time he fails.
So if I succeed, I still go to hell?
No, you move on.
No,
you
if
move
you-
on, but a ghost of you is gonna be here
In his timeline.
in his time.
In his loop.
So like you're gonna be here over and over. And
So
over
we just have to
he
wait
fixes
until
it.
the entire history of human existence gets out of their thing. Which will never happen.
Because we keep making more.
At the same time, if you
keep
think
making
about
more
it,
children.
when is your most innocent part of your life?
Right now.
Probably
Childhood.
about infancy.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're
Yeah.
saying.
It's
I
pretty
just
fucking
wanted
cool.
to
I
ask
actually kind of believe
a
it.
shit ton of questions.
Jacob's
about
Ladder
it.
is kind of like close to it.
Honestly, that sounds
Silent
a lot
Hill
more
2.
Well,
plausible.
In
than
Jacob's Ladder,
nothingness.
he's dead. He doesn't realize he's dead.
He's in his hell. He's trying to get his nirvana.
Yeah, the angels are trying to help him get back. So even the evil angels are trying to make him get back to where he needs to go to get to heaven. But he's been dead the whole time. But that could play like also like in my theory, because he actually dies in Vietnam, but he lives a whole entire life
Outside of it.
outside of it.
After his death.
So that time doesn't exist. It folds. It does.
The brain's a hell of a drug.
Honestly, you could just combine all of our theories together because you don't know. Could be a little bit of every theory. It could be we could all be completely off base,
And it
like,
could be nothingness.
After we die, we just turn into unicorns and roam a pasture. Like we could all just be completely wrong. Like,
In Dante's Inferno, there's different layers of hell for people that have committed different sins. Like the worst people in hell, I think, were Judas and I forget the other person.
that one guy, Larry.
But it was
Barnabas.
Barnabas, yeah.
Barabbas.
Was it Barabbas?
Yeah. It's the dude who got set free, right?
Huh?
He got set free
Over Jesus.
Yeah.
But the last layer of hell, or the most like the worst layer of hell was people that have committed treason. So like Judas was with Satan because Satan tried to overthrow God, and Judas did betray Jesus. And then like it goes from just normal sin, you know, like people that lie and stuff and like steal, and to murder. In each level, it keeps getting harder and harder. So that's what I was asking about, like if one person's path out was like more difficult than like another person, and like while you're in,
She's trying to share some thoughts with you.
and while you're trying to get out. God, badass over here.
Dude, I remember you whenever I was in high school and you were sitting over there. And I was eating my lunch. You were there just figured. Don't you remember them badasses, dude?
You went
And
to
the
high school?
people that would take like thread and sew their hands.
Yeah, those people.
But like, and then, and that what you're talking about, is it possible like while you're in your path or whatever, for you to do something and you die and it gets harder? You don't
I
know.
never thought about that.
Or like you're trying to make amends, like in your path, you're trying to like do the right thing, but you still die. It doesn't get easier, or is it the exact same?
I never thought about that.
I
I mean,
mean-
we're all most people are drawn to do good.
Yeah.
Fine.
So I think it's a matter of if you actually act on doing that good, like how much of the same actions you repeat or similar actions.
All I'm saying, my past life must have been awful because I tell you, I'm struggling. I don't want to be here.
My past life must have been awesome because I'm struggling now in this life.
and you can probably even cut this, but like, because it could be controversial. But like, I did want to, like, you were talking about Judas. I've thought about this before. Like, he gets a bad rep, but what if that was what he was created to do? Like, he would, like, without him, nobody else would have ever been saved.
Yeah, but with that question lays the entire do we have free will?
That's true.
Which brings you into Satanism, because Satanism believes what makes you a Satanist
So his
is if you don't follow the will of God, which following the will of God means you don't have a free will, because you have to follow his rules to a T, and if you don't to the exact T, then you are sinning in his eyes.
I'm gonna be
that's
honest.
Judaism.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Following
honest.
to-
Satanists are some of the nicest people I've ever met. Like diehard Satanists, like people who are like not just people who are like
Diehard
I'm
Satanists.
not people who are just like I'm Satanist, but like actual Satanist people I've met.
Like actual Satan, dude.
Dude, I know.
They're nice.
I know like atheists that are way better people than Christians.
Yeah, no, like well,
I
like
know
Or
some-
Christians.
okay. So I
Some
have a
people
friend.
that are atheists are just fucking retarded, though.
I have a
So
friend.
you thought about it, like that
I
question.
have a serious
Huh?
note.
I said you also thought about that
Yeah.
question.
Do you want it on the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a friend who was raped, and she used to go to church, and her faith stopped because of what the church said to her. They told her that it was God's will that it happened, and like,
Why would you tell that to somebody?
yeah, that's like the most awful. It was God's will. God willed it to happen. After that, she lost her faith.
She has
She
to
be-
learn.
She became a Satanist.
Dude.
I'm not being serious.
And
Yo.
like, it, like just the fact that like people would say that, like, and then I think we can all agree that some of the Christians are the most bigoted, like, judgmental. And that's another thing. Like, they're super judgmental. Yet judging is one of the biggest sins because that's God's job, apparently, right?
Well, there's actually Bible verses that tell us to judge others.
People that say they're Christian are actually Christian.
Like,
But the judgment is like,
I don't even know what I am because I'm a little bit of atheist, but also practice Buddhism. But I might be Satanist. But I don't even know what I am.
sound like you're one of the Beatles from the 60s.
I'm a clusterfuck of madness.
Might be on a bit of acid.
But I mean, even like, even like in our family, like
My lungs!
even like in our family, the Catholics like denounced people because they had a child out of wedlock, and then like that should say that child dies. And
I
they're
got
like,
kicked out of church.
and they're like, you know what? Well, sorry, your child was out of wedlock, so they can't go to heaven. Seriously.
Yeah.
So it does happen, and it's wrong because it's not. It's,
I got kicked out of
Doesn't
church for
even
setting
make
a
sense.
Bible on fire.
Nobody knows shit. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Nobody
no,
knows
that's the
shit.
thing.
We're
That's-
just here.
No one knows. There's no factual evidence on any religion, on any faith, on anything. It's all just faith that this is this.